VeChain, powerhouse supply chain blockchain, but is it due a correction or should we anticipate all-time new highs being made? So today we're going to look at the psychology of the price action, the buying behavior, where we can predict with high probability what's likely to occur next so that you can make the best possible decision. So if you like today's video, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. My name is Jagir. I'm the award-winning author of The Extraordinary New Venture Capital Opportunity, How to Invest Like a Pro, featured in the best-selling book, High Probability Trading Strategies, back in 2008. And I've been trading currencies for over 15 years now, but now exclusively focus on blockchain. So let's dive straight into VeChain. On CoinMarketCap, current price is 12 cents. It's been as high as, all-time high, I believe, was, where are we? 27, so let's call it 28, almost 28 cents, almost double. At a massive correction. Where are we right now? Have a quick read. VeChain, what is it? VeChain is a blockchain-powered supply chain platform, right? So let's have a quick look at the website. Market cap is around 8 billion, has been as high as 16 billion. So supply chain, basically recording data as things go along. So one of the areas is service for foods, service for sustainability, and 5-star rated blockchain service. So they're award-winning. VeChain is a big project, top 22 cryptocurrency project. On June 11th, we did a video on VeChain. Now, at the time, the information that we had, it looked like we had an extreme A, B, C of a wave 2. Now, this was quite extreme. However, what we're looking at from a technical standpoint is typically after a move up to the upside, we get an A, B, C correction followed by a wave 3. That's what we were anticipating. However, what unfolded next, it wasn't really bullish, but we could only go with the information at hand. So today we're going to jump into the data and see what happened. Well, we did the video up here, and it was more corrective, and then it did make a lower low, which invalidated the A, B, C count. So today we're going to do an update of what does the market look like today, and what should we anticipate based on Elliot wave and Fibonacci theory. So let's just zoom out this way so we get it as clear as we can. And keep it very objective, very objective. So remember, utility of the token is important, very important. But most markets, especially cryptocurrencies at this early phase, is speculation. Buying and selling for, buy low, sell high. That's the whole essence of the game. And we're always using this as our template to see, is there an identifiable pattern? And if so, how can that help us? And then Fibonacci price ratios, which measures the psychology of the market. So we've obviously had a move to the upside. So let's just kind of get this up to date now. Big move to the upside. So we can still call this a wave 1. But then we've had this move to the downside. And what pattern does this show? Now, typically, when a correction occurs, the waves tend to overlap. What I mean by that is when a wave overlaps, it overlaps into this range, right? It does that. If it doesn't, it's more impulsive to the downside. And we can see here that the wave did not overlap. There's a big gap between the two. So actually what I'm seeing here, this is me just being totally neutral. As much as I might love VeChain and it's a great project, we're just looking at the psychology so you can take the best course of action. It looks actually like more of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look how clean this structure is. It's a really, really clean structure. But then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of a what? Well, remember, a typical correction is 3 waves, A, B, C. And a wave A typically breaks down into 5 waves. So now looking at it from this angle, this actually looks like more. And again, we can only go with the probability of the information at hand of a wave A. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just jot this down to let's just keep it like that. So if this is the correct wave count, which looks like it's likely to be the case, what should we anticipate next? Well, we should anticipate a wave B next. What's a wave B? A wave B is a correction to the correction. Yeah, a correction to this move to the downside. So we've had this move to the downside. Looks very impulsive now to the downside. And then we should anticipate a correction. All corrections typically have a minimum of 3 waves. And we can see what looks like a first wave. We should anticipate some type of second wave and then a third wave. And at this phase, we can actually analyze closer to the time. There's no point really doing it now. What is this likely to be? Is it likely to be a continuation to the upside, or should we expect a lower low to finish what it looks like to be an A, B, C correction? Well, it just looks like it's more towards the A, B, C correction. So this is really timely information because, look, I know everyone, a lot of people are very bullish on VeChain, and they should be. It's a great project. However, we just need to look at a few facts. So first we're going to look at pattern, then we're going to look at momentum, and then we're going to look at price. So pattern says, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what looks like a wave A. We look like we're forming a wave A, like an ABC. So I'm going to draw this like this. Where are we? And this one here. We should anticipate some type of A, B, C correction. And that's what we're going to focus on. Because look, there's no point going much further than that. Because at this stage, if this occurs, we don't know if there's going to be a wave C or a continuation of the new trend. But going by what we see, actually is likely to be a wave C. So that's what we're going by. So let's actually just dive into momentum. So we're going to go into the weekly chart. And it shows that the blue line on the stochastics RSI is one of the momentum indicators, is overbought, and the blue line is going below the red line. It looks like the next week it will make a bearish reversal. That will tell us the next 1 to 2, 3 weeks should be sideways to down, right? Sideways to down. So that should also coincide on a daily chart with the next, probably the next bearish reversal. So it will kind of move in this cycle. So now we want to anticipate, right? Anticipate a few things. So let's just see if there's a clearer pattern on the 4-hour chart. Because if there's a 5-wave structure, you can see there's not really that clear of a structure. Yeah, it almost looks more like a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3. We should probably anticipate a wave 4 and a wave 5. So my guess would be to be patient for the momentum to go down, to go up, and then on the next bearish reversal, we'll probably see the top of this area here. But what I want to focus on now then is what would the overall correction look like if it did end up being an ABC like this, like a A, B. Let me just pop it like this so it's really, really clear. Let's say B up here. So, you know, sometimes it's just best practice to hope for the best, but plan for the worst, right? Hope for the best, plan for the worst. Okay, so I'm really forecasting ahead of time here. I'm really just basing it on this structure. This structure is very impulsive to the downside. This last movement, you know, it just, you should always anticipate a minimum of 3 waves. And again, here's the first wave, second wave, and then the third wave. So I'm just thinking, what can give you the most value today? Well, let's just assume that this wave B is going to occur. If so, what would be the best course of action? So let's just now look at this from a price and time perspective. Okay, so let's just go like this. We're going to take a Fibonacci retracement, a typical wave B correction. We just want to be hyper aware of these ratios. Typical wave B retracement is measure this high. I'm going to do it from here so it's really clean. Click, and then down here, second click. And then we just want the typical retracement levels of a wave B. Minimum tends to be 50%. 62 is very common, and the extreme tends to be 78.6%. All right, what's next? Let's just do a bit of time analysis. A typical correction should be a minimum of 50%. So we're going to measure how long this wave, what we're calling a wave A, and do a double click. I'm also, by the way, I'm going to put a question mark here. We don't know it's a wave A, but because remember, we're doing leading projections. We're projecting ahead of time so we can have valuable information and insight. So basically what we have here is a minimum correction time. We should anticipate a minimum of 3 waves and a maximum, typical maximum correction time. So we're saying between the 5th of September to the 23rd of October, we want to be hyper aware of, right? And if you manage to buy down here, or you manage to buy down here somewhere, and you managed to really hold during this whole time of this whole wave up and then wave down, my take is, look, you want to always go, what's the worst case scenario? The worst case scenario is that this is going to be a potential correction. And if the price does achieve, 20 cents thereabouts, consider taking money off the table. Money off the table means, if you invested $10,000 down here, and up here, let's just say the price is down here is what? Is roughly around 5 cents. Let's say you bought it at 5 cents and it gets to 20 cents, which is a 4x. Consider exit in 1 quarter, which is your money off the table, which means your 10 grand's back in your pocket and you've still got 30 grand in the investment itself. So you can say, if it ends up being, really, really bullish, we go great. But we want to be hyper aware of this, because my take on, because this is very impulsive to the downside, we should anticipate an ABC correction to the correction, which is a wave B. And then what tends to occur, again, if this unfolds like this, then we'll have more information, is a third wave, which would tend to have a relationship to this initial wave, A. So there you have it. So it's not maybe the news you wanted to hear with VeChain, but I would anticipate a correction over the next week or two, and then another move to the upside, and then in this 20 cent range. Again, we have more information at the time, depending on how deep this correction is, if it occurs this way. But then just to go, all right, best to be on the safe side, risk management, take your money off the table or take some profits at this phase. So if it does end up doing a correction, hey man, you're still in good money and you still got a good position in the whole thing. If it ends up going more to the upside, you'll be good. So VeChain, powerhouse project, blockchain, it's doing really, really great stuff. But I'm very mindful. I'm repeating myself because, sometimes if you're invested in VeChain or a project, you have something called cognitive dissonance, which is it's hard to see the things that may go against what you believe or you want to happen. So here I'm just having a really objective viewpoint. I'm saying, look, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's textbook Elliot wave, and that's not a completion of a correction. Normally that's the first wave of a correction. So we then should anticipate an ABC, second leg, and then a third leg. And if we do get to this phase, again, consider just managing your position. Hope for the best, but be prepared for the worst, and then maybe another correction. And if that correction does occur down here, then we should be more bullish on seeing a continuation of the whole new trend. But again, it's too soon to even be looking at that. Right now, it's what do we know, what we're looking at over the next few weeks. Next few weeks, sideways to down, and then we'll probably get some type of correction here, and then a move to the upside. And we want to be hyper aware. And we'll do some more Fibonacci retracements and extensions over here so we can really pinpoint it. But right now, that's what we have. So if you like today's video, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I'm doing my best to be objective, right? I've got 15 years of technical analysis background, mainly in the Forex markets, currencies markets, but it applies even better to cryptocurrency. Why? Because the market is very young and the psychology of the price action really shows itself really clearly 50 to 60% of the time thereabouts. And when it's as clear as this, we just have to go by the decisions that we're making and the analysis, so you can be objective and as much as possible non-emotional. So again, like today's video, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I appreciate you because you're with me building this community. We've gone from 5 subscribers to nearly 1,500 now, which is great to see. So now we just keep on going. Let me know what you want to see next. This is VeChain. We'll keep a close eye on this because this is starting to unfold in a clear way. But if it unfolds as I'm anticipating, then we just want to be mindful. If you're holding significant VeChain, you want to be very, very mindful that we might not be out of the woodworks yet, even though this movement to the upside would give you the indication that this correction is over. It's not looking that way. It's looking, actually, we've got a bit more work to be done. I'm going to do one. Did I put this in? The 1.618. Yeah, here's the maximum time. I reckon the correction will probably finish more toward December time. More toward December time. Again, need a bit more information, but it will probably, if I had to guess today and had to make a decision today, I would say something more along this line. Long correction, but then a continuation. So just manage your position, look after yourself, take the right action, and I will see you very soon.